The role of the amateur diver as an underwater archaeologist is becoming increasingly important in building up our knowledge of maritime history. Ships of every flag have met with an untimely end around the shores of Europe, and although many of them are of no significant archaeological importance, it is ships such as these that attract the interest of the amateur diver. The Pembrokeshire coast has seen countless shipwrecks in the last 400 years, but not all the wrecks are underwater. These are the remains of 3 tugs that came ashore here in 1983. One man who has devoted his life to the research and location of shipwrecks is Jim Phillips. Working from historical documents and old newspaper reports, he has managed to establish the existence of some 2,000 shipwrecks off the Pembrokeshire coast alone, some dating back to the early 17th century.
Start off on the bar.
Jim's close associate and diving companion is Greg Evans, and today's objective is to locate and dive the remains of an 18th century trading ship called the Frederick. Wrecked close to the cliffs near St. David's Head, the Frederick was bound for West Africa when she fell victim to fierce storms and was lost with all hands. Although there is no discernible wreckage left of the ship itself, many interesting artifacts are still to be found.
When we were working the wreck last year, we couldn't find the musket balls. In theory, a ship with a cargo of hundreds of muskets, which were the brown bess type. We've had a barrel full of flints up, but not one musket ball. Now in theory it should have thousands of them, but this year we managed to find literally thousands. These are the flints that were used to fire the muskets, so there's quite a lot of flints around there. We've got the pottery, etc. But this here, hundreds and hundreds of musket balls, and these came up with them. And that's to give you the calibre of the size of the musket ball. This hole here is quite a large one. We have had smaller ones, which these musket balls fit perfectly. Gloves, mask, check sinuses.
As your herpes cleared up now. They got everything.
Yeah.
This is Ramsey Sound. Even on a calm day, it's still possible to see why the notorious stretch of water has earned itself the reputation as a ship's graveyard. On a spring tide, the sea races through the narrow passage at anything up to 6 knots, the uneven underwater terrain causing whirlpools and overfalls. Many brave mariners met with an untimely end in this boiling seawater cauldron.
Big one there, like in front of us. Nice little huh? I think we're in one. Bloody yeah. Really went down now, wasn't it?
We've arrived at the Smalls Lighthouse, 20 miles off the Welsh coast. There's about 30 to 40 known shipwrecks in this area, and we are anchored on one of them. It's a steamship about 5,500 tons, discovered in 1989, and now we're going to go back on it and lift up some more items. Yesterday we lifted up the ship's telegraph, a load of brass valves, and now today we're going to lift up maybe a couple of portals and even a bell or two. Let's go for it.
Because of the remoteness of the Smalls, the numbers of divers that have visited the site in recent years has been minimal. Consequently, the opportunity to locate and dive on the many wrecks has been limited. However, with more clubs and individuals acquiring rigid-hulled inflatables and Decker navigators, the Smalls are beginning to become more accessible. There is no accurate record as to the number of wrecks on the Smalls, but diving here suggests there were considerable numbers during the age of steam. It is difficult to identify a particular vessel with any certainty, as wreckage from many different ships can be found at any one location. This boiler is one of 4 originating from different wrecks which were located on a single dive. Of the many thousands of shipwrecks around the British Isles, a substantial number are recorded as lost without trace. For divers like Jim Phillips and the members of the Maritime Archaeology Group, much of the thrill of sport diving is enhanced by identifying some of these vessels. Careful examination of the wreck sites for vital clues and research of records at the Maritime Museum may provide them with a chance to write another chapter in the story of shipwrecks.